Hello there, thanks for coming by PosterCentral.com's video blog today. I'm Pete Howard, and check out this piece of San Francisco rock and roll concert poster history. Would you believe this is Bill Graham's first concert poster ever? You think about that for a sec. Bill Graham, concert poster, first ever. From December of 1965. What a fun, lofty piece this is. And his name is not on the poster, that would be with his next one. But this was the first time Bill put on musicians in the Bay Area and made a concert poster for it. So for that reason, it's just got a real sweet cachet to it, obviously. Now, this was also Graham's first event ever at the Fillmore Auditorium. So look at those marriages. That's just amazing. Graham's first ever concert poster and his first event at the Fillmore Auditorium, which is just obviously not just Bay Area, but worldwide rock history right there. And this is the cardboard window card, or I should say cardstock. It's pretty light and flimsy. The piece that Graham used to advertise the event. And there, I should show you at the bottom, of course, the Fillmore Auditorium, Friday, December 10th. It's just, it's got so many things going for it. It's so much fun. I had to figure out what to leave out of this video blog, but it's just, you know. So this was Graham's second event with pop rock musicians, I guess you could say, because this is the second appeals party to raise money for the San Francisco Mime Troupe, who were facing legal problems and were getting busted for performing free in the San Francisco parks and having some lewd material and stuff. The first one that Graham threw did have some pop rock musicians, if you will, like the Jefferson Airplane and stuff, but he only made a small handbill to market that, and that was the previous month in November. So here in December he got a much bigger venue. The previous one was just at the offices of the Mime Troupe and so forth. Here he got a bigger venue, the Fillmore, and made a bigger advertising piece with the posters. So that handbill for the Appeals one was just, as I said, a small paper piece, and it was 90% politics, and it had no photos on it either. So this is a concert poster with absolutely zero ambiguity. Now remember, of course, there are, from earlier in '65, there's plenty of Bill Graham Presents, but they're the San Francisco Mime Troupe. So they're not, you know, rock musicians, and so that's why this has so many firsts attached to it. So Appeals 1 was in November, this Appeals 2 was in December, and then Appeals 3 was in January. And Graham himself, with his wheels turning as they always were, was very much moving in the direction of leaving politics behind and just going he knew that he sensed that the money was in the music, not the other stuff. Appeals 1, the handbill, had lots of poetry and comedy and politics and all this, but this thing, he just went ding right to the heart of where everything was with big red letters, dance concert. So he knew, again, the music was the draw. And it's funny because the Appeals 1 handbill, which I have blogged, just mentions entertainment, comma, music, you know, and here it's like, bam, big red letters, you know, dance concert, to really get the music heads to turn out and everything. But to its credit, above those words, dance concert, as you can see, it does say, for continued artistic freedom in the parks. A real tie to raising money for the Mime Troupe, but even those words would be gone by the third poster in January. So, okay, so the musical acts on this poster, as you probably know, you got up there, the upper left, very prominently, the Jefferson Airplane. Interesting picture. It's a, you know, it's a nice photo of them. Looks like the, the set of a television show, perhaps KQED Studios or something, and Signe Anderson, obviously, because Grace wouldn't join for like 10 months or so. And I believe that's Jack Cassidy on bass, a little bit hard to tell. He had replaced Bob Harvey on bass a few weeks ago, and you would think the Airplane had definitely endeavored to get out a new publicity photo with Jack Cassidy on bass, who is so much better. Little hard to tell, though. It almost looks like he has a goatee there, but that's probably just noise from the graphics behind him on the back of the stage. But definitely a nice picture of the Airplane, for sure. And then you've got John Handy there in the middle, which Darby Slick of the Great Society in his book calls John Handy just really a nice, kind, sweet guy. So that's always good to hear. And then you've got Sam Thomas and the Gentleman's Band, and obviously just based on the name of the group, I guess we can probably assume he was a nice, kind, gentle guy as well. And then you've got the Mystery Trend, obviously a very important seminal San Francisco pop rock band, you know, largely pop, commercial, smooth sounds, not so much the psychedelic and feedback and stuff, but still very important, and it's nice to have them on this poster for sure. And then you've got the Great Society there, well-known publicity photo of them that I just love because Grace Slick, as you can see, is rocking back on her boot heels, maybe on her butt too, I don't know, but rocking back on her boot heels with a big grin on her face. And it's kind of funny because obviously 10 months later she would go from here to there, across the poster diagonally and join the airplane. But you know, for me, the big, you know, I just went through the 5 images. The big thing is that bottom center thing that says, as you can see, and many other friends. And you know, so there's space for a picture and an act there, and it, you know, it just, gosh, in this poster collecting hobby, it makes you say to yourself, oh my gosh, what might have been. Because you know who else played this night that could have been on the poster very easily with the photo? The Warlocks. That's right, just before changing their name to the Grateful Dead. And we know the Warlocks played this gig because of Ralph J. Gleason's review in the Chronicle the following Monday morning. I mean, he talks about the Warlocks playing at the gig, so, oh my gosh, did Bill Graham sort of like have something against the Dead in the earliest days? I think there's some, you know, rumble about that in some of the books and so forth. We know that he hated their new name, the Grateful Dead, but, you know, maybe he just wasn't crazy about them or something, and maybe that might, I'm just pure speculation here, just talking like we're friends or something, but it's real possible they're not on the, who knows, the poster for that reason. But you know, it's just to think of it from a poster collecting perspective, which, you know, if you're a poster collector, you can really key into this. This poster, can you imagine Bill Graham? It's just so ironic. He's the godfather and the grandfather and the father of a Bay Area concert poster collecting, right? Whatever, certainly on a worldwide basis going forward with the historical hindsight. He could have had a December '65 poster with a picture of the Warlocks and their name on there, you know, oh my gosh, and there's great publicity photos of the Warlocks, as you know, Garcia wearing the sweater, the big stripes on it and everything. Oh, can you imagine that there in this space? And then the January '66 Appeals 3 poster, it just says the Grateful Dead, formerly the Warlocks, with no picture. So he could have had a January '66, you know, poster just like this with the Grateful Dead's picture on it, and he missed both boats. I mean, I'm sorry, that's just from a poster collecting and a Grateful Dead collecting standpoint, that's such a shame, you know, but okay, well, that's enough of my rant. I mean, it is a great poster, but, you know, you think about it, what a 1-2 punch missed opportunity in December '65 and January of 1966. That's pretty tough for sure. But you know something? Graham was doing almost everything else correctly, wasn't he? He was doing things right. He really got the whole thing moving in a business direction that solidified the whole thing and really appealed to the bands because they would get paid and everything. And Graham really did something right in terms of this exact poster, which, by the way, I should point out, it's not paper, but it's not cardboard either. It's pretty flimsy, as you can tell, so you could almost roll it, but you wouldn't want to. It would damage the photos. And interestingly, most of these boards were 14 by 22. That was the standard size. This is already 14 by 20, which is what, of course, all the BG numbered series and Avalons would be, 14 by 20. I'm cheating a little bit. It's actually about 14.5 by a little under 20 inches. But it's just interesting the way it's sort of cardstock and not 14 by 22. So that sort of was foretelling a bit of the future for Bill Graham's first ever concert poster and first Fillmore gig. Anyway.